In this video, we will talk about what is it that you want to bring to your SAT test and what are some things you want to leave behind. I'm Kat Severson, the inventor of the Severson method, a scientifically proven way to learn anything fast. Let's talk about what's in my SAT pouch. Believe it or not, but tomorrow I'm going to be taking the SAT right along with you guys. Today is March 8th and tomorrow is March 9th, and it's the SAT date. So the first thing you want to bring and not to forget is your ID and your admissions ticket. The other two things are your pencils and your calculator. A lot of people like to use TI-84 Plus. I personally am in love with TI-89. I had it since I was in college, and I really find this calculator very useful, but if you're not sure how to use it, definitely use TI-84. For me, I like to bring two calculators to my exam. No, I cannot share my calculators with anybody, but just in case one calculator runs out of battery, I'm going to bring two. So if you can afford two, or maybe you can borrow another calculator from someone, then definitely do so. So, calculator. Many of you know that I take SAT and ACT on an annual basis. I actually try to take it a few times a year, and I have my routine, and I actually have my little pouch where I have all of my essentials. And right now I am going to open this pouch and I'm just going to start pulling things one after another. There's no particular order of how important those are. This is just going to be random things, and I'm going to show you how I use them and why those things are important. And I try to pack it maybe on Thursday before the test, so that I feel more prepared. Just gives me this additional boost of confidence that I feel that I'm ready for the test. So the first thing, it's a wet wipe. Sometimes it helps me to clean my phone screen. Sometimes something spills or drops. It's just very good to have a wet wipe on you. Hand sanitizer. This is a simple one. I think I got it at some promotion. It's a hand sanitizer that's a spray, and it smells really delicious. It smells like grapefruit, I believe, and it's just super good between the sections. Maybe you want to just reset your brain, reset yourself. And I like to have a hair tie that's sitting on either a hand sanitizer or something else. I always have to have an extra one. Obviously, I'm going to be wearing my hair up tomorrow, so it's not in my face. But just in case, for girls who have long hair, maybe someone else needs a hair tie, so I always have one. Now, next thing I have here is a lip balm. You don't want your lips to be chapped, and because you're going to be sitting there for 4 hours or more, just very good to have everything smooth, so make sure you have a lip balm. Then the next thing I have here is invaluable. It's an eraser. I know that many pencils already come with an eraser, but I feel like it takes a little bit of time while you flip to the back, and if you misbubble something, it would be very important for you to erase. So I try to have like a tried eraser that is very good at erasing, so make sure you have one. Another thing is, on the theme together with a hand sanitizer, I like to bring a little bit of perfume with me, something that's meaningful, and this is a great company. The name of it is Scentbird, and you can just place your perfume inside, and I like to study with a scent. And if you are studying and you are smelling, or maybe preparing for the test and you're smelling this scent, it's very good to just quickly put it on the palm of your hand and maybe smell it when you go to the bathroom, because you don't want to use perfume in the testing room. But maybe as you're walking in, just spray a little bit and it will activate your olfactory senses. So that's just kind of like a little item that gives me calm and just like a little lucky charm. Another thing that I have here is gum. I don't usually like to chew gum. But during the exam, that could be very helpful, that just moving the jaw and bringing a lot more blood into your head and keeps you focused. So I have the peppermint one. Now, a couple of more things. Pencils. And I know that in my other video I've talked about that I like to have one pencil that is sharp and one pencil that is dull. A dull pencil is for bubbling and a sharp pencil is for writing. And I always like to have my favorite pen, this one. And I don't see why the proctor would not allow you to solve problems in the booklet with a pen. I always use a pen, but I also have a pencil just in case, because if this one breaks, something happens to it, I have this one. And here's a pen that I usually work with. And just a couple of more things, the important stuff. Here's my admissions ticket, printed, and there's also my ID. So these are all the things I'm going to bring, and I'm also going to bring a little snack that I personally will eat in the 5-minute break right before the long math section. The reason I don't like to have my snack in after the reading is because I always take the SAT with the essay, and if I eat right after I have the reading section, then there's 35 minutes of the writing section, then there is math, then there's another math, and by the time I get to the essay, I'm exhausted. Even though I have my essay template memorized in my head, I try to kind of give myself an additional boost of energy for the math section and the essay. So that's when I'm going to eat my snack. One more thing that I want to talk to you about that you want to bring to your SAT is your flashcards. It's not officially allowed to bring your flashcards, but all of my kids go to their SAT with a box of flashcards, and I personally go to the SAT with a box of flashcards. Here's the thing. Obviously, you cannot use your flashcards while you are taking the test, but not a lot of people realize that there's a lot of time that passes between you arriving to the test and getting your seat in the testing room, and then the proctor waiting for everyone to come in. You cannot really use your phone because they're not allowing you to have any technology. But then you don't know anybody, and even if you do know other people, you just sit there and you get nervous. And you can't be reading anything, you can't bring a book. So you're just looking around the classroom, just getting yourself more and more worried, more and more stressed, more and more anxious. I find that having flashcards is a big savior for your mental health. So before the proctor distributes the booklets, you can just sit there in the testing room, just flipping through your flashcards. Try not to sit right in front of the proctor, but personally, I never had a problem. And if they ask you to put them away, sure, you'll put them away. And when the test begins, you will obviously put your flashcards away. But just looking at these flashcards can take your mind off of worries. You could be looking at flashcards that have to do with math. There are flashcards that have to do with English. For example, what's the area of a circle? What's the circumference of a circle? And on the other side, you have the answer. You're just kind of occupying your mind without getting yourself even more wired and nervous. So hope you guys like this video. If you have something that you particularly bring to your SAT, oh, guys, I forgot the watch, because I always have it on me apparently. You want to bring a digital watch with you. The problem with not having a digital watch is because our brain is terrible at determining how much time have passed and how much time is left, and you really can't rely on the proctor to be consistent with calling out time. For as many times as I've taken the SAT, every time the proctor is announcing the time differently. Sometimes they announce it halftime, sometimes they don't announce halftime, sometimes they say it's 10 minutes in, and then they say, oh, 5 minutes left. So there's no particular pattern or rhyme or reason, and you can be just working through your passages, you can be working through your problems, not knowing how much time is left. So I usually have this guy with me, helping me keep track of time. And this is a digital clock. I bought it on Amazon. It's $10 and it works very well. So if you light it up, it will show you the time. It does not make any sound. And I could see that right now it's 8:53 p.m. It's March 8th, and tomorrow is March 9th, so it gives you a sense of how hard we're working for you guys to bring these videos out. So I guess I've covered everything. Admissions ticket, you want your pencils, you want your calculator, you want your ID, and for additional items, think about flashcards, think about a digital clock, and think about how much time you have per passage. And I actually talk about that in a separate video. I'll link that video right now up there. And you want to think about the lip balm and the gum and maybe a scent. I like to also study what's essential oils. I'll show you guys in the next video that I have something that's around my neck. This is a scent that I like to smell, and kind of impacts my olfactory senses in the whole test taking experience. You want to have legit eraser. You don't want to forget that one. And relax. And I hope you guys have a good test. Bye.